Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Local 4's 4 Things You Need to Know to Start Off Your Day. My name is Ian Mason. The date is Thursday, May 29th. Let's go ahead and jump into some news because we've got a jam-packed news morning this morning. The legislature passed the Stand With Women Act late last night. The act would require students that play on interscholastic sports teams to play based on the sex they were assigned at birth. Nebraska will now join more than 24 states with similar laws. The governor praised the passage of the bill that was introduced on his request. The bill also defines male and female and bans people who were born as a male from participating in a female sports team. There are exceptions to that, as there is no comparable, if there's no comparable sport like females wanting to play on a football team, students will need to have their sex verified with a doctor's note before participating in sports. According to the Nebraska Examiner, this mirrors the policy set in place by the NCAA since 2016. They also note that fewer than 10 students applied and have been approved for the policy, that they had a little exception there to play in the sport matching their gender identity. Debate was limited to an hour because of how controversial this bill was. The Stand With Women Act passed along party lines, coming up with exactly the 33 votes it needed to overcome a filibuster. The legislature also passed some other bills we've been tracking, like the Age-Appropriate Online Design Code Act that would set limits on children using social media. We're not going to talk about that one too much today, though. The next bill I want to focus on is LB 415, which we've covered on this program before. It places limits on who can get a voter-mandated sick leave pay. LB 415 will remove the blanket sick leave requirements, letting employers offer no paid sick leave to 14 and 15-year-olds, temporary workers, seasonal agricultural workers, workers who are in a small business with fewer than 10 employees. And then also, if your company has a PTO policy that is the same or better than the state's policy, your work does not have to offer that. Senator Jane Raybould did try to attach her changes to the minimum wage bill LB 415 last night, but Democrats threatened to filibuster and the amendment was not added. According to the Nebraska Examiner, Lincoln Senator George Dungan was pleased that the changes to the minimum wage increase were not added, saying, quote, "Despite continued efforts to walk back the voice of the people, I'm glad that we were at least able to fight for everyday working Nebraskans by stopping this attack on the minimum wage." Senator Raybould pushed back, saying that she was not trying to undermine the voters like Missouri lawmakers have, referring to their legislative repealing of a paid sick leave act passed by the voters. They're trying to do that this year. Speaker Arch could bring back the full minimum wage change bill this session, but it's unlikely because they really don't have many days left. If I'm doing my math right, they've got 3 days left, not including today. Senator Raybould shared that she was disappointed because she felt like it would be harder to get it passed next year because it would actively decrease youth pay. And the Trump administration immediately appealed a federal court's Wednesday decision blocking most of President Trump's sweeping tariffs. It includes the so-called Liberation Day tariffs announced in April. I think it was anything before April 2nd is okay against Mexico, Canada, and China. I think those are the only ones before April 2nd that are still in effect. Anything after that, I think, is the ones that they've said are not in effect. Here we go. The duties placed on China, Mexico, and Canada are designed to combat fentanyl in the United States. Those are no longer active. It's a major blow to Trump's gold trade agenda and sets up an appeals process that could go all the way to the Supreme Court. Trump implemented tariffs without invoking the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The legal team for the plaintiffs in the case argued that the administration interpreted that law too broadly. And the court agreed, ruling Trump did not have the authority to impose the tariffs the way he did. White House pushed back, saying that they are releasing a statement in part, quote, "It is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency." All right, let's go ahead and get a check of the forecast now. Not too bad outside. Maybe a little bit of rain midday, maybe a couple storms this evening, but I'm really not too concerned. I think we're going to see a couple clouds, mainly cloudy skies, but we're going to see warmer temperatures today. Temperatures hopefully getting up into the 70s right now, maxing out around 69, 70 degrees, so it should be quite nice outside today, but not as warm as we're hoping for. Tomorrow is when it's going to get really warm. We're going to be back in the 80s tomorrow, so pools. Most pools, I think, are going to open today, but if they don't open today, they'll probably be open tomorrow. So that's going to be wonderful. 85 on Saturday, 86 on Sunday, 89 on Monday, 82 on Tuesday. Then we're back down in the 70s on Wednesday. But here's the other kicker. We could have some showers, thunderstorms tonight, but also severe showers, thunderstorms next Monday and Tuesday. Those systems are they're pretty far out. But the thing about them is that the models are already saying, hey, these could be bad. So we're going to be tracking that closely here in the Severe Weather Center. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you right back here for midday at 11:30. You can also catch the latest news at 5, 6, and 10 tonight. Have a great one.